2022, even though teen suicides were down nationwide. Our Brian Burns talked with those who provide the most crisis intervention services for their take on the numbers. He joins us now live in the studio with the very latest on that. Brian?
Well, Rudy, more people died from suicide in the U.S. last year than any other year on record. The Nueces County Mental Health and Intellectual Disabilities Department says we've seen many of the same increases as well.
We do see 18, 19, 20-year-olds, so younger people who their only experience with crisis is typically pretty severe. A lot of emotional, not able to regulate emotion, and a lot of times you can go from 0 to 100 thinking, I have to find a way out.
Amanda Ashcraft is a caseworker at Nueces County Mental Health and Intellectual Disabilities and says she deals with clients' thoughts of suicide every day. The CDC says at least 49,449 lives were lost due to intentional self-harm in 2022, more than 14 deaths for every 100,000 people. Amanda remembers one teenager's thoughts of suicide that showed how many younger people handle the idea.
He had never disclosed to anyone that he was having these thoughts for years.
Amy Kramer, who's in charge of emergency services at MHID, says the area is a little behind the rest of the country in providing such services.
Not being in a large metropolitan area and also having the college and the base and things here in Nueces County, I think that changes some of the resources that we have available, so therefore the numbers are a little higher, if not on trend with the rest of the country, but we are working on providing those resources here in Nueces County. Kramer
says in 2022, MHID handled 8,689 crisis calls. So far this year, they've handled 8,803 crisis calls, showing a slight increase, especially among young people.
After COVID, going back to school, social factors, things like that, I think maybe during those times some things are maybe underreported at times, but we're getting back on track to seeing what is accurately happening in our county.
Ashcraft says her profession is fighting some old misbeliefs.
There seems to be an old, antiquated notion that admitting a weakness emotionally equals weakness as a person. To be honest, reaching out for help is literally the strongest thing you can do.
These mental health professionals say this applies across the board. They're seeing increases in suicide in preteens through seniors, but more and more programs are becoming available. You can call the crisis hotline at this number, 888-767-4493. Rudy?